back. I'm just going to play a one-credit game of Art of Fighting 2. As you can see, the level is set at 2 because this is off a multi-card, so I just went in and changed some of the settings to an easier difficulty. So I think the last time I played this was about 14 years ago, so let's see how rusty I am with this particular game. As you all know, like Art of Fighting series basically is a ripoff of the Street Fighter glory days, and well, Street Fighter 2 glory days. And this is SNK's response to making something that's a little bit more wow in terms of graphics and character selection, character diversification. This is part 2 of the previous game, and basically the first game only allowed you to play as Ryo or Robert to save Yuri, and as it turns out, the drama will unfolded being the fact that the last boss was Takuma, which is the father of both Ryo and Yuri. So probably sort of a twist to try to prolong the game, the storyline of fighting games, which back then was quite innovative because everybody wants a bit of a story behind the games that they play. So that's more prominent in places like Hong Kong, which has their own sort of like take off their of the popular Japanese franchises. And this game is notoriously difficult as well. So the previous game you can get away with just jump kicks after jump kicks by jumping forward. This one they decided to mix it up a bit, so yeah, it's a bit more technical, I would say. So like usually there is a spirit meter, and that spirit meter can only be charged up by leaving your finger on the attack button, and that would just charge it up. During this phase, you are vulnerable to attacks as well, but it's essential basically to have that if you want to pull off special moves. Otherwise, yeah, you're just relying on just your standard punch and kicks. And this game also borrowed a bit of like Art of Fighting, I mean not Art of Fighting, World Heroes, in that the longer you leave your attack button, the more damage it does. Oh, I might die here. Yeah. So yeah, true to fashion of the SNK fighters back at the time. I think I'll just add more, play one more credit anyway, because yeah, it's hard to focus and talk at the same time. But yeah, SNK I think got a directive from their parent company to make more fighting games, and this is just one of the response actually. Yeah, so as you can see, the screen zooms in and zooms out, just like Samurai Showdown. Actually, it was Art of Fighting that predates Samurai Showdown in terms of that type of effects. And there's also desperation moves as well. But you need to charge up your spirit meter as well to pull that off. Basically that will just sap up the most of your spirit meter while you're in a vulnerable state and inflict quite a lot of damage. I don't think the damage scales as well with your character, so yeah, unlike some other fighting games which scales their attack if you are a bit low on energy compared to the other character, that they'll make it so that the player with the least energy will do more damage to keep things fair, I suppose. And as you can see, if you taunt, you sap up a bit of their spirit energy, which is great, but bad. And this particular game also has battle damage, just like the first one, which is pretty cool. Because not everything is rosy in the art of in the real world of fighting. So it's good that they translated that to here. So and I don't think there's a setting to turn it off actually. So yeah, you just have to live with it. Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty bad. I'll just swap to another character just for diversification. I'm making these series of videos just after work, so that waiting for tea to cook, and just play some arcade games while that's happening, which is pretty good use of time, I suppose, considering that most of the time stuff that goes in the oven takes about 20 to 30 minutes to cook. Yeah, at the moment my in-laws are here, so I have a bit of time to do some videos, but usually probably there won't be much time to do stuff like this, like during the just after work. Yeah. I remember playing as Mickey in the arcades, and because of its reach, it was quite useful. Pretty boring looking character, really, considering that most of his moves is just punches and no kicks. The kicks just basically does a lower attack. Yeah, I remember now, his reach is pretty good. And then you can break fall as well if you're hitting the ground, to press the attack button while you're coming down. And then you can minimize the damage. Yeah, and you can also grapple or throw people with the third button, which is great if the players are quite defensive. I can't remember the super desperation moves actually, but the usual super move is the Hulken, I think, and basically it's just forward and half a circle forward and punch, which is pretty good because they decided to make a lot of the characters universal in terms of their move. Yeah, his grapple, I remember now, is actually quite good because he can actually like just walk into a throw, and then it's pretty fast to recover as well. Yeah. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. So Jack is another good one to use as well. Despite its size, he's actually quite nimble. Art of Fighting has actually got the dash mechanism, so you can actually dash despite your size. Yeah. And then they still got the one hit falls, so like even if it's a small special attack, most of the time they will fall down. And I don't think there's actually a combo system as such. Yeah, it's best to be defensive in this game, I suppose. Yeah, I remember playing this in China in the hut, and I'll just finish the game with Mickey. Back then, I think the difficulty was set at the regular 4 or 5, and Mickey is a very defensive character because if a player misses his a move, he can just walk in and just do the throw or what, the punching bag. And so yeah, it's definitely a more defensive game. And yeah, if you go in for attack and you miss, you get punished pretty badly for it. So this, as you can see, the game makes no excuses for being a male or female in terms of damage, so that's pretty nice to see. Considering that nowadays everything has to be quite PC. And I just heard on the YouTube videos that they are censoring some of Street Fighter V's main ladies, so that's kind of sad. Considering that, you know, most of the time that all these are just made up and people know that. But I suppose that if they want to, society want to progress as such, as a PC society, that just has to happen. Probably gonna see some of the Judge Dredd action coming along where, is it Judge Dredd? I'm not quite sure. Like where Taco Bell becomes like the a restaurant as such. That's kind of sad and funny to see a movie display that type of utopian society where, you know, you can't do this to women and stuff like that. Yeah, like this particular stage is also bringing back quite a lot of memory because they got quite a lot of sound bites to this stage, which is pretty cool. Oh wow. I'm moving in for the throw. Oh, not if she throws me first, I suppose. Yeah, well, I'll leave the game as that. I should really re-record when I have a bit more practice. But yeah, so this is Art of Fighting 2, a typical fighting game. Actually, it spawned a couple of one more sequel after this one, so it must be pretty good in terms of like the fan base to be able to do that. So yeah, till next time. Thanks. Bye.